Hey guys, what's up? I am Ninja. Today I have another awesome Destiny video for you guys, and in today's video I want to help you guys get to 385 quickly. As of right now I am 379. I should be 385 today, but a lot of people are asking how in the world are you getting your lights so quickly, so I thought I would make a video explaining how I did it. It's pretty simple. Some of it, there is some luck involved, but for the most part, anyone can do this. You just have to have enough materials and put in enough time. But anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this video. And starting off, the very first thing you want to do the Rise of Iron story. Yeah, just run through it quickly, get all the missions done, get your light as high as you can. Then you pretty much want to start doing heroic strikes. Once you're around 345, 350, pretty much like I said, just by doing heroic strikes, doing all the quests, the Rise of Iron quests, getting your galley, all that stuff, because you're gonna get a lot of drops that are 350, like your artifact, your galley, stuff like that. So that's like the first and most important thing. But once you do that, you are then going to farm Omnigul. If you do not know how to farm Omnigul, there's tons and tons of videos on how to farm her. One quick thing I will say is I use 3 hunters, 1 night stalker, 2 golden guns, and pretty much 3 golden gun shots to kill her. It was fairly simple, but I don't want to get too much into that because if you don't understand how to farm Omnigul, then you should just find a video. To farm her, that'll literally make it 10 times easier for you, instead of me trying to explain how to farm Omnigul. But what you're going to want to do, like I said, is once you're around 345, 350, you're literally going to farm Omnigul until you're all the way to 365. The reason why you were able to do this is because all blue engrams, like not engrams, but like the actual 2 blues they drop when you kill Omnigul, can drop all the way up to 365, but within 3 light of you. So when you first start, say you're 350, every time you kill her, they have a chance of being 350 to 353. So you pretty much want to keep replacing everything you get until you're all the way up to 365. Now, to my knowledge, you can get everything except for an artifact. Now, I'm not saying you can't get an artifact. I just did not get an artifact, and I have not seen anyone get an artifact from the blues from Omnigul. So you can get your primary, secondary, heavy, ghost shell, and then all your armor. It's very simple. So yeah, you're going to do that until you're 364 and you have all of that. That is the very first step. Now, after you're 364, this is where some of the luck is needed. Pretty much you have to have a lot of exotic engrams and a lot of materials, motes, heavy ammo synths, stuff like that, to get from 365 to 385. Now, if you do not have a lot of these things, honestly, this method is not going to work for you. But to be able to get a lot of these things, it's not that hard. All you have to do is have a bunch of 3 coins, farm Draxus, get a bunch of exotics, and then obviously the motes and the strange coins and all that stuff, that's just grinding good old Destiny for you. So, again, you do have to have a lot of materials for this method to work. But now, what you're going to want to do, go to the tower, or whatever, mostly the tower, and you're going to want to start opening up your engrams and faction packages depending on, like, your light. Like, what is your weakest, what is your highest? So, pretty much, for example, once you're done with Omnigul, everything, like I said, should be 365 except for your artifact. Now, what you are going to want to do is just start off with like 1 at a time. So you open up a helmet engram, and it's 367, and you put it on. You switch it with your helmet, and then you open up, a primary, so on and so forth. Literally, you just keep 1 at a time. You put them on because this will literally keep increasing your light. Now, like I said, you use engrams, you use faction packages, and you always want to make sure you go to whatever the hell your lowest light is at the time. So when you get to packages, what I was using for packages is I was using armor. I mean, you can use weapon, anything, obviously, depending on what you're trying to get. But I was always trying to get my class item and ghost, because they're the only 2 things you can't get from engrams. So I was opening up armor packages. And armor packages have a chance of giving you a ghost and a class item simultaneously. And there's a lot of times where I did get both simultaneously, so it's perfect. But yeah, so I think that is pretty self-explanatory. That is literally how you're going to get all the way up to 385, just with faction packages and exotic engrams. Now, the one last tricky part is your artifact. Now, to be able to get a 385 artifact, there's only one way to get it all the way up to 385. But there are a couple ways to get artifacts. So, to get your artifact past 350, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can get them from random blue engrams when they turn legendary, you know, and go higher. The way I got my first like higher artifact was actually from doing strikes. I used my skeleton key to open up a chest, and the chest ended up giving me a 361 blue artifact. So that's how I got mine, at least 361. But after that, the only way to get it past 365 and all the way up to 385 is, to my knowledge, as of right now, the only way I know of, because, you know, Rise of Iron just came out, is to grind Eris Morn packages. Now, this probably sounds extremely rough. It is. It's pretty rough. It's not the most fun thing in the world to do. But you have to grind Eris Morn packages. The best way of doing this is doing Court of Oryx. Doing the Tier 3 Court of Oryx gives you 100 rep, and you have to have a total of 3,000 for a package. So you can do the Tier 3s, that gives you 100. You can do the Tier 2s, that gives you 50 per, or the Tier 1s, which is 25. Those are obviously the weakest. You can also do the Crota Raid. I don't know exactly how much the raid drops. I haven't tried it yet. Also, once a week, when you start Court of Oryx and you finish one, it'll give you a quest, and that quest, it's a 3-part quest that adds up to a total of 1750 XP. So that is, you know, a good chunk of her rep. So I recommend doing that for sure. But yeah, so that is how you get the package, the artifact. You just open up her package. You have a 50-50 chance. I think it's actually more than 50, but basically, what you have to do is get lucky and get the artifact instead of the class item. The very first one I opened was a class item, but the second one was an artifact, so kind of sucked, but eventually I got there. But yeah, anyways, guys, that is it. Those are all the steps to get to 385. None of it's necessarily hard. There's some luck involved, but most of it you can just do by playing the game. I mean, you pretty much just grind it and you'll get there. But yeah, guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments, especially any specific comment or questions about how I did anything specifically. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of the day, and I will talk to you guys later.